Hey, welcome back to another edition of Talk Nerdy to Me. I am your host, Troy Stegner, and I have ENIAC #1 right here from Bad Idea Comics. These guys have been doing things a little different than most everybody else. This one, they've been hyping. They put out the Ashcan Hero trade late last year, and good story on that Ashcan, and it was a surprise hit. It's selling for anywhere from 500-600 all the way up to close to 1,000 for CGC copies. They sent one per select stores, so not every store is going to have them. ENIAC, the Bad Idea stuff, I believe we're the only official store for Bad Idea Comics in New Mexico. And we ordered a bunch, and then they came back out and said, hey, we didn't print enough. So all you guys who ordered, if you could decrease your order. So I had to decrease my order by half, so we're only getting half of the ENIAC #1s that we initially ordered. But so far, I mean, good quality. It's got a thick cover, nice glossy cover. Not sure you can tell by looking at it, but it's got the main picture is kind of glossy, and the background is kind of matte, so it kind of stands out. Anyway, this is ENIAC #1. I read it. It's and there's going to be ENIAC #2. We've already pre-ordered them. So far, pretty good story. What I can show you or tell you about, it's kind of espionage type stuff. ENIAC, if you don't know, is the first computer that was built. Electrical numerator something and computer. And it tells you in here what that stands for. But ENIAC is an actual thing. ENIAC exists, and it was like the first tabulation type computer. These guys on this story kind of took a different road with that. They made it to where ENIAC was being built, to help end World War II, to do all these massive calculations. So they fed all in this book, not in the real one. The real one, it was basically a tabulating machine that they used, like an advanced calculator, basically, to try to predict things. On this one, they kind of went a step further. They were in their story. They presumed that ENIAC was loaded with all the information they had available about everything. So ENIAC decided, hey, what you're doing to end the war is not going to work. We're going to take over. The first bomb, Hiroshima, was dropped by the U.S. And at that point, ENIAC kind of took over, basically said, you guys don't know what you're doing, and we're going to do this. So they dropped another bomb on Nagasaki. ENIAC did. And in the book, the ENIAC had plans to also drop bombs on a couple other places, Moscow and a couple other. There were 3 more atomic bombs that were going to be dropped. And I can tell you on this page right here, exactly where they're going. Okay, Moscow, Leningrad, and Tankigrad. So it looks like all Russian stuff. So ENIAC wanted to end the Cold War. He didn't want to just stop at. And I keep saying him, and they refer to ENIAC as a him in the book too, him and it. I'm not sure why I gave it a male persona, maybe because its tendency toward war to blow things up. Anyway, so yeah, ENIAC has been running things in the background since World War II. He has taken over all the other government stuff. So it's not just the U.S. All the other governments know that ENIAC is running the show. And then everything was fine. Every year on January 1st, ENIAC would send a little message to all the leaders of the countries with some random quote or meme or something. Except this last, according to this, the last one is sent a countdown. It started counting down for 3 days. So nobody knows what the countdown's for. They all presume, of course, that ENIAC's going to try to blow up stuff. And one of my favorite scenes in here, the United States Secretary of Defense is trying to meet clandestinely with a couple operatives to hire them to take out ENIAC. And they are meeting in the middle of, I don't know, I can try to take a picture of that later. They're meeting in the middle of a desert, bucket naked. All bucket naked's in there. So yeah, he's hiring these operatives to go in and take out ENIAC, and find out that they're supposed to meet up with some dude in Russia who supposedly has a way to take out ENIAC. Because every time that, these governments try to hack in, now with the internet, ENIAC is jumping around from network to network, throwing up firewalls that they just can't possibly get through, and causing all kinds of trouble. Well, as they're getting ready to drop into Russia, ENIAC knew about that and blew up their airplane. They got out, and that's the last page, is them in the forest getting their bearings, where they have to go and meet up with that dude. And ENIAC is watching them, and he's got the little trackers on them, and it says tracking targets, termination imminent, to be continued. So not a bad start for ENIAC. They did a good job with hero trade. I loved that story. And ENIAC seems to be following right along the heels of that sci-fi type thing. And what they're doing, if I read this correctly online, they're going to start putting little stories in the back, little snippets from a different story in the back to kind of try to push that. Like this, like I told you, the first ashcan was hero trade. This little snippet in the back here is also a hero trade universe story. Not sure what all is in there, but basically this dude steals this high-priced briefcase that he's supposedly going to sell the contents. He can't even get it open. So he ditches it after 4 or 5 days, and yeah, then he leaves, and then it just shows a prison scene, dude trying to break out of prison, but everybody else in there has already kicked it. Looks like one person has some fly wings, or so I don't know what's going on. Not good, not good. Well, the case popped open and leaked, I guess it's part of its contents into the jail. Yeah, it's not looking good. I'm not sure what's going on with that one, but the other hero trade partial story was pretty good. So I'm sure the more they explain about this universe of hero trade, the better it's going to be. There you have it. ENIAC #1 with the hero trade, the second ashcan type story in the back, written by Matt Kindt and David Lapham. Matt Kindt also writing ENIAC, and you got working with him on that is Doug Braithwaite and Diego Rodriguez. And yeah, the artwork is great. Quality of the book and the paper is great. Story pretty good. Matt Kindt, you can't go wrong with a Matt Kindt story. I'm waiting for him. ENIAC #1, it kind of leaves you wondering what's going on. I have a feeling this is going to be a story that's going to take 2 or 3 issues to finally fully encompass the whole world universe of ENIAC. But so far, really like it. Love the idea of ENIAC having been working behind the scenes since World War II, running stuff, and he's just kind of tired of people. People do dumb things, so ENIAC wants to take care of that. So highly recommend picking it. It should be pretty limited. Go to their website, Bad Idea Comics website, and find out what store near you will have this. We're going to be shipping it out to a couple people who requested it. Other than that, it's like I said, it's going to be limited supply. If you can find one, grab it. I have a feeling this is going to be, these stories are going to be really good. So if you like this video and you'd like to see more like it, subscribe to our channel. It really does help with the metrics. While you're there, click that bell, be notified whenever we put up new videos, which we've been doing a lot more recently. So until the very next video, later nerds.
Get nerdy with me. Tell me what game that you get on. Is it card or read? What kind of class do you play, girl? In an RPG.